Coach Norm Riffner with Robert Morris Club Hockey on the D3 team. 52 years old. This is my third season with Robert Morris Hockey. Background in a little bit of everything. Spent time in college and thereafter as a medevac pilot. Spent some time in real estate. Still do spend some time there. I worked in corporate real estate as chief operating officer for a few years, and ultimately found my way into coaching, and 14 years later, here I am. My oldest boy, Norman, who graduated from Robert Morris a couple years ago, played on the D3 team. He got into hockey, and that was in 2008, and I never went back to flying again. I've been a coach ever since. Well, initially I was letting him do his thing, and I was, as a parent, watching from the stands, and I said, you never think poorly upon someone who's volunteering his or her time, but I was watching what was going on the ice, and I was always kind of a fitness type guy, and I was saying, well, and I was cold too. So I was cold, I was bored, and I was watching what was going on the ice, and I said, well, I think if I apply myself to this, I can equally do as good a job as what I was watching on the ice. So talked to a couple of the coaches, and they took me under their wing, and there I started from there. I was no longer cold, got my workout in, and started learning hockey. From the amateur teams, I coached the amateur Penguins, which was many years ago when they still had the Penguins logo. I spent a few years there. I spent quite a few years up with the Pittsburgh Vipers, known as North Hills Amateur Hockey Association. I had a really good time up there. I made a lot of friends. Started coaching through Shaler, because my sons actually started getting into Shaler hockey at that point. I did developmental Shaler, JV, and varsity, and concurrently what I'm doing coaching here now. From you being with me for a few years, I like a lot of east-west, a lot of cuts, a lot of grooves, a lot of puck movement. Coach Luff has been challenging me this year with lots of books, and he gave me a book, and I read a quote, and this kind of typifies where I'm coming from with my players, students, for what have you. So it was a quote from Anatoly Tarasov, who was the godfather of Russian hockey. And he quoted that the speed of the attack or counterattack is directly proportionate to the puck in motion. And by moving the puck with creativity and speed, our forwards have numerical superiority in the attacking zone. So I kind of, I should probably get that tattoo, because that is how I try to teach the game. Puck movement, and more puck movement. With every team, whether you're on a hockey team or whether you're in the corporate world or whether you're with the Marine Corps or with the Navy SEALs or whatever, every team has to, first and foremost, they have to form, which means they have to come together. They have to storm, which means brainstorm, find out who the leaders are, who's going to follow, and then they have to perform as a unit. This team has taken a little bit longer to perform, to come together as a team than I would have liked. So we started off kind of high, and then we've had some lows there on out. But as of recent, and in the last 30 to 45 days, I've seen this team come together. And to be candid with you, other than a lopsided loss against Kent State, we've been able to hang with some of the best teams in our division. Well, I think teaching is part of the fabric of my family. There are no teachers in my family, but I enjoyed being a flight instructor. I enjoyed showing people different ways of looking at things. My youngest son, Ryan, wants to be a teacher, and he's planning on coming here next year. I think for me, I like to learn, again, never played the game before, and I kind of look at some of the best coaches in the NHL. They're not the best players. They're the people that had minimal talent, like me, and they had to explore all possibilities that are out there so they could break it down and teach it to people that have skill. I think when I was younger, I was afraid of failure. And failure, when you're afraid of failure, you won't operate outside your comfort zone. And I've learned that in life, that failure is not failure. Failure is success delayed. And I teach, some of the best hockey teams I've had, we've gone 20-0. And some of the best hockey teams I've had have gone 0-20. And I tell every player I've ever coached within the last few years that winning reinforces existing behavior. Losing forces you to reflect, adapt, overcome, and implement what you've learned. And by losing, as long as you learn from your mistakes on the ice and in life and get back up, you'll be fine.